Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu is on. Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu off. Hello, fight fans. This is Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7 Part Boxing Series at nschamp7.com with an analysis of the unified World Junior Middleweight title clash between Australia's own WBO champ Tim Tszyu, who has 24 wins, 0 defeats with 17 knockouts, and the number 3 or number 5 ranked, depending on what world sanctioning body you follow, and that's Southern California's own Sebastian Fundora, who has 20 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 13 by way of knockout. First off, this was supposed to be former welterweight champion Keith Thurman fighting Tim Tszyu, but Thurman reportedly suffered a torn bicep in training, and from the negative report from his MRI, won't be allowed to fight. Now, a lot of veteran ringsiders question him as the opponent when this fight was first made a month ago. And I agree. Why would you put a guy moving up in weight, who's been relatively inactive for 2 years, 1 fight in 4 years, who's also 35 years of age, and reportedly has had surgery on his shoulder and right elbow on 2 separate occasions? Now, why would you put this guy on a major PBC fight card on Prime pay-per-view against arguably the best junior middleweight in the world, who's bigger, younger, a harder puncher, and more active? One could also make the case that in being inactive, then ramping up his strength conditioning routine, which Keith was doing the past few weeks in training camp, could have easily led to the injury, as opposed to gradually building up strength from at least 1 tune-up match, which he could have gotten in all of last year. Nevertheless, from watching these guys train and the other attributes I previously mentioned about Tszyu, and that's from my first video on this match when it was made a month ago, I still believe the fight would have ended in a late round stoppage in Tim Tszyu's favor. Now, if one time gets a second time to fight Tim in the future, I'm sure any veteran trainer would advise Keith to get a couple of tune-ups, since he'll be facing even more inactivity from this postponement, and bulk up as much as you can at 35 years old, and stick to a well-devised game plan of in-and-out boxing, hopefully predicated off a hard jab in order to win. But for now, in steps the 26-year-old Sebastian Fundora. Now, the last time I saw Fundora was when he suffered a 7th-round knockout at the hands of highly ranked Brian Mendoza. That was last April in Carson, California. Mendoza then went on to lose a unanimous decision to Champ Tszyu back in October. Now, some veteran fight people, such as former world champion and ESPN announcer Tim Bradley, see this challenge from Fundora as more competitive and pay-per-view worthy than Tim's non-title match would have been against Thurman. And the stakes are obviously higher as well, with 2 world championship belts on the line, the WBO and WBC. However, for Sebastian to win, he must use his massive height and reach advantage. He's somewhere around 6'5", hopefully with some implementation of a jab to set up combinations from the outside. If he continues to fight flat-footed, as he's done in at least the last 3 fights I saw him in, he probably won't go past the middle rounds. Strength and conditioning, with no strategy, tactics, or skill set, or advanced skill set since you're fighting the best, just makes you a well-conditioned punching bag. And hopefully the undercard featuring Pitbull Cruz against Rolly Romero, which definitely will not go the distance, and the boxing of WBA champ, middleweight champ that is, Erislandy Lara, generates more excitement to somewhat compensate for any financial hit this card takes with the withdrawal of Keith Thurman. So, that's my take on this one for now, folks, because the fight's still a week and a half away. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, click that like and notification button and subscribe to NS Champ 7 Part Boxing Series at nschamp7.com.